Okay, what is up? I'm so happy to see you again, and in today's video you're gonna learn how to do the basic proportion of a human's face. So stay here, subscribe this channel, and I'll catch you in a second. Okay, let's talk about the basic proportions of a human's face. I just posted a video tutorial about 3 years ago which has about 6 million views now, and the tutorial is almost similar to this video, but it's way more complicated. So for this time I try to keep it more simple and break down every step in the easiest way that you can do. I just don't want to waste your precious time, so let's start directly with the tutorial. I am just using Bristol paper by Tombow and color pencil by Faber-Castell. You can find the link of all the stuff, the art supply and the materials that I use right here in this tutorial down in the description box below. Feel free to click on the link and get your own pencils and paper to create your own artwork. This tutorial seems very mathematically at the first point, but I promise at the end it all makes sense. We start off the drawing with a simple circle, and to draw a perfect circle without any tool, I just mark the center point of the circle and then I lay down my little finger on the paper and I just hold my hand in the same position and turn the paper all around to 360 degrees. And at the end you have this perfect circle right here. The next step is to draw a straight vertical line in the center of the circle. So I just use the edge of my paper as an extension for me to work like with a ruler. So I put my little finger on the edge of the paper and then I draw the center line with the same amount of distance to the edge. Okay, that doesn't look like a face at all, but wait until the end, it will change, I promise. The next step is to divide the lower part of the circle in two pieces. Now we have this point, which is actually the height of the eyes, and now we double the size to the top of the circle underneath it, and we use our pencil to measure the distance and we copy it down under here. And this point represents the chin. The next step is to shape an oval head form out of this circle. And now you have almost the impression that this is going to look like a face at the end. Okay, so this is basically the silhouette shape of the head. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to define the line where the eyes are later on. And once again, I just use my thumb on the edge of the paper as an extension to work like a ruler in order to make a clear straight line. And there you can see that the line of the eyes is just in the middle of the head. The next step is to split up the lower part into 3 pieces, which are exactly the same size. So this is the point of the center of the lip, and underneath we have the lower lip. The edge of the circle just represents the nose. Now we can continue with adding the face features. So let's start off with the eyes. And we basically start to mark the center point of each half of the head on the right side and on the left side. This is now the point where the pupils are later on. And now we separate all the spaces in between the gaps just into halves. So now we have the width of our eyes. And if you're feeling like you've done something wrong at this point, you can check yourself and the drawing by measuring the distance between both eyes. Because the distance, or I mean the gap between both eyes, just has to be one size of the width of the eye. Now it's time to decide where the nose has to be in your face. So the width of the nose is just the distance between both eyes. And the tip of the nose is just the point where the circle and the center line crosses each other. I just mark the spot where the nose, the eyes and the mouth is, and later on I just add a little bit more details. This step is just to know where the features are in the face. Next step is the center line of the lip. So what I mean is the point where the upper lip and the lower lip are coming together. The width of the lip depends on the person that you are drawing, but specifically for this case we are just drawing a overall face. So the width at all is just from pupil to pupil. The center line of the big circle, which I redefine here, is the edge of the eyebrow later on. There is only one feature left in our construction, and this is the ear. And the height of the ear is basically between the line of the eyes and the line of the nose. So in between those both lines, there are the ears. So now that we've constructed all the features of the head, we can go on to add some details of the eyes, nose, mouth and ears. I use a dark blue pencil in order to add a little bit more contrast into the drawing. If you want to learn a little bit more about how to draw the face features, then click on this video right here in the corner and I'll show you a little bit more detailed version of drawing the face features like the eyes, the nose, the lips and the ears. One quick tip that I have for you is that the pupil is cut off a little bit by the upper lid. As you can see, the circle of the pupil doesn't go all around. It's just a little bit cut off at the upper side. And now when we draw the other side of the face, this is the point where most of the people make a common mistake. Like they are thinking the other side of the half has to be mirrored from the right side, which isn't correct. Like in your opinion, it means like, okay, when the right eye looks like this, then the left eye should look exactly the same like this, but flipped around. And this is not correct. So when you draw a portrait from a reference photo later on, and you have to observe the image in a very detailed and correct way, you can clearly see that the lid or the lashes or anything at both eyes has little differences. Okay, if this tutorial is way too fast for you, then feel free to click pause and rewind a few frames and take your time and draw in the speed that you want to draw. So if you do this tutorial for the very first time, then it is just normal that you aren't that fast. So take your time, do your things well, and learn it in the correct way. What I'm trying to teach you right now is not a drawing of a specific person, okay? So I'm just trying to give you the most efficient information to draw a human's face, like the basic proportion. So the proportion is way too important to don't learn it, because I just remind myself that the proportion of a drawing is just like the structure of an architecture building. Like, if the structure isn't correct, the house at all will not stand as tall as it is at the end. So what we are going to do right now is to find the perfect spot for each piece and for each feature in the face. So where is the eye? Where is the nose? Where is the lip? So if we set this place down once, we can add any nose, whether it's big, it's small, it's thin, it's wide, it doesn't matter. So once we have to know where the place is, we can adapt anything what we want. So this is why the proportions are so important. In each and every drawing that I do, I just follow these simple rules of proportion in a human's face. On every post that I do on my Instagram channel, you probably not see the construction lines, but I do them all the time. So without learning the proportions in a correct way, your face will not look exactly correct at the end. And of course, the goal of everyone is to draw the face in a realistic or natural looking way. And the base of a natural look is just to nail the proportions. So do your homework and start drawing from the very first beginning correctly, because knowledge is the key, always. If you know how to draw something, you can draw it. But how can you develop your skills or create your own art style when you don't have the base knowledge? Like, you can't draw realistic when you don't have the fundamentals of the skills, because your result always looks like abstract or something like that. This method of the head proportion was basically the first method that I learned back in art school, and to be honest, it works well just for all the time that I've drawing faces in my art career. I mean, okay, this face looks basically not like an old man with a beard, and you see how his life was and you can see through his eyes in his mind, or this is not a beautiful model lady, but this is actually not what I wanted to show you, just because all the humans, all faces have two eyes, have one nose and a mouth, and it's always at the same position. But the difference is in the detail. So when you're observing the reference photo, then you can see it and adapt it into your drawing. I hope you followed the tutorial well, and if there is any problem that you have with drawing or following this tutorial, please let me know in the comment section what could I do better for the next video. And of course, leave a thumb up or a thumb down if you like or dislike this video. So I'm trying to catch you in the next one.